Either I do it in English or in Italian. Inglese o italiano? Okay, okay, I go for Russian. No, okay, sounds more for English. If there's anything you don't understand, I'll switch to Italian, or anyway, you can stop me if you want. So first of all, thank you for giving me the chance to be here. I'm Italian myself. I've been living abroad for quite a while, but of course I love to come to Italy and speak in an audience where there's also plenty of Italians. So I'm the director of the EU Kindle content store. So my responsibility is deals with everything which is related to selling content of Kindle across the European region, and of course Kindle direct publishing is a key component of Kindle. So here I got two purposes of this presentation. I would say three. I mean, the first purpose, I'll try to make it interesting and fun. I'd like to not see too many yawning faces during the presentation. But other than that, my purpose is going to be, one, make sure you understand what is Kindle Direct Publishing and why it's important for journalism. Because probably most of the people know Amazon for books, when actually we got tools which are extremely useful for journalists. And the second thing I want you to understand is how to make the most of self-publishing in general and Kindle direct publishing. I'm going to give you, in the second part of the presentation, few simple things which I'd like you to remember if you want to publish a book, or if you already published a book for a self-publishing platform and you want to try to be successful. Let me start with the presentation. I don't know what was that video. So, I don't know if anyone recognizes the people in this slide. Who are those four people? Okay, I see silence. So those four people are for journalists who have been using Kindle Direct Publishing, and they've been fairly successful. And by the way, they published very different books. So, the first one on the left, Guia Soncini, wrote books about diets and how they see diets. Mike Powell wrote a fiction thriller called The Terminal. Susan Remke wrote a love story called A New York for Beginner. And Peter Hitchens wrote travel guides. So it's really extremely different type of books which are published through KDP by journalists. And I mean, these are the four people I'm starting the presentation with. We're going to see more and more phases of journalists on how they use the platform. But let me show you a video on what is KDP.
Making 50 grand a month for you to even be doing anything. Well, let me tell you guys, 50 grand a year doing something.
Sorry guys. This is the technical issue we had.
Okay, so the hard part is done, right? Not so fast. I mean, you knew what you were doing when you were writing the book, but publishing it? That's not your thing. Yeah, and neither are writing query letters, finding an agent, and lots more. I mean, you're a storyteller, not a publisher. Reaching readers with your book has been a long-time dream of yours, along with quitting your day job. You know, The dream you kept seeing during those frequent naps while writing? But seriously, it shouldn't be this hard to fulfill that dream. Wouldn't it be great if there was an easy, clear, and free way? Well, Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing has exactly that. You write your book's description, because after all, you're the author, and you choose what categories your book will appear under in order to help your new readers find it easily. Again, it's your call. Everything from content to price is totally up to you. Also, did we mention your work appears in the Kindle store within about a day? Yeah, how great is that? Not years, months, or even weeks. Right next to all your favorite big-name authors. Available to readers worldwide. Plus, oh, did we forget to mention? It's completely free, and you get up to 70% royalties in your preferred currency. Hey, listen, you don't have to convince us your book deserves to be published. See, everyone now has a chance to publish independently, whether it's newly written work or it's been waiting on a shelf for years. That's right. Remember that first book you wrote years ago? The one that's been collecting dust on your hard drive? Yeah, that one. Well, now it will get an opportunity to see daylight. Or, readers. KDP also gives you access to real-time reports on your book sales. Plus, you can reach readers in printed form by self-publishing with CreateSpace, an Amazon company. You can also create your own free author page on Amazon using Author Central. You've got a great story, and Kindle Direct Publishing is here to help you get it to your readers. Find out more at kdp.amazon.com.
So after this commercial spot, so I'm talking to the journalists who are in this room. The question is, so how many times you had a scoop and your work basically got burned in one single article when you had piles of material you could use and you could actually have made a book, and but you didn't do it because actually it was too complicated to publish. And so this is why we have a tool, which is KDP, which makes this process extremely simple and makes it simple for everyone, whether it's like an ordinary author, whether it's like a self-starter, or whether it's a journalist. And simplicity and timing, like in business, is key, and for journalism. And we have many examples of journalists who made the most of our platform. So yesterday there's been a very important event yesterday at this festival, a very crowded event, was Snowden speaking. So when actually the first important leakage came to press on The Guardian about the information of Snowden that was coming to the media, Edward Lucas, who is a senior editor of The Economist, in a matter of a couple of weeks, he published a book through KDP on the UK store, and he got on the top of the non-fiction charts. It was #1 for several weeks, and it's still selling a lot. And so this is why I'm saying we have a platform which is completely free, which is simple. Seriously, to publish a book on KDP is as easy as buying a ticket train or a plane ticket online. You can go live in 24 hours. It helps you connect with readers. So if you have a tool which is available to you, which are reviews to your books, which are of course key in improving your content. You can make up to 70% of royalties. I don't know how many people are familiar with the royalty schemes in publishing, but it's just so an ordinary author gets a fraction of that. And by the way, the ability to make up to 70% of royalties on a book also allows you to make your content priced extremely in an extremely appealing way to the readers. It's global, so you with one click you immediately reach a global audience. The copyrights remain in your hands, and you can decide to push your content or you pull your content anytime. And at some point you can even decide to publish with an ordinary publisher, and you can still do it at any time. And you keep full visibility on your sales, which is another big asset of digital. Again, if you publish a physical book, the information you're gonna get of how much you're gonna sell of a book is gonna be very, very little, and there's gonna be a big latency. Probably you're gonna know how much you're selling after months or even a year. And given the importance and given the success we've seen of KDP for journalists, we've even built a program which is called Kindle Singles. And so the catch for Kindle Singles is compelling ideas expressed at their natural length. And so at the end of the day, those are stories which are between 20 to 30,000 words. They're shorter than a novel. They are non-fiction. And they can be essays. They can be newspaper articles. They're more deep than a magazine article. And they're interesting enough to make something interesting for the reader. And we had many examples of that. So we had an author in the UK who wrote for Italy about Costa Concordia. The same author wrote other articles about Italy on Beppe Grillo. And all those articles, all those essays were characterized by a fast speed to the matter. And if you think about it, so as a journalist, well, I'm a big reader of current affairs on newspapers. So normally it's easy that you see many bits and pieces of a story. You see them, through the weeks. But those pieces at the end make together a story that you could easily put in a self-contained book that you could publish on Kindle. So let me go ahead and show something more. So let me go to the core of the presentation. How to be successful on KDP. And before telling to you what being successful on KDP means, I want to show you what success looks like. I show you another hint. Does anyone of this room recognize these 3 pictures? Okay, there are some experts here. So, few people know that this book was first published on Kindle Direct Publishing. And this book made probably 250,000 copies on Kindle, self-published. And then Random House, which is one of the global largest publishers, was smart enough to buy the rights for the book, and the rest is history. So I think 50 Shades has sold more than 100 million copies in the world. Is the book who sold the most copies on Amazon. And even if there are, probably there are going to be some intellectuals in the room who are going to say, okay, but this is not even a book. This is like trash. And I'm sure there are going to be some people saying that. But this is not the point. I mean, the point here is this is content that interested the readers and scaled massively. But there are many, so the market for books is very big. And it's not only for romance. There's a market for essays. So there's a market for non-fiction. There's a market for thrillers. And there's opportunity to produce content to attract the readership that want to read about the content you produce. And we have more stories to tell you. Can someone recognize these 3 people? I dubbed it. I give you some hints. So, okay, of course the 3 of them are KDP authors. The first one, Poppy Anderson, she's an historian. She published her first book in 2012. She published 23 books on Kindle. She's extremely active, so with 8 books per year. And she's extremely active on social networks. Second one is John Locke from Louisville. He wrote probably 10 books, keeps on being extremely active on Amazon. And the third one, Sheila Rogers, her name to the public is Rachel Abbott. She published her first book after retirement. She writes fiction, and she made many times to the top of 100 of the Kindle store, and so on and so forth. So the common traits of these three people is that they sold more than 1 million copies, which is a massive number. It's huge. And I captured only these three, but we have a long list. So moving forwards, so how to maximize the success of your KDP book? So first of all, I had to think about quite a while before try to come to the right way to present it in a simple way. So before I get into the detail, I think the key recommendation I have for anyone here, whether it's a journalist or is not a journalist but is interested in publishing a book or has already published a book, is that you should be making the most of the vibrant community of KDP authors, which are out there on the internet and have extremely creative ideas on how to push your book to the market. So I've been working a lot with the traditional publishers, and many of those who are the most innovative emulate what self-published authors do. So going back to what should be the tricks and the framework to make the book successful. So I try to pivot the approach in a traditional marketing framework for those who knows. So those are the 4 P's of marketing, which are product, price, place, so which means distribution and promotion. So if you want to get it right, it's like a puzzle. You need to get it right with the 4 pieces. And of course, the core of the pieces for you will be to have good content. And to be clear, this presentation is not about to tell you how to write good content, especially if there are journalists in the room who make their living on content. It's not going to be me explaining you how to write. I don't think I would have any entitlement on that. And by the way, there are very good books on how to write stories, and there's I know there's a very famous one written by Stephen King, which I think is kind of more authoritative than I am on talking about these topics. So I will go step by step on each of these pieces of the framework. So as it regards to the product itself, so it seems like a kind of basic thing, but this is the typical thing that authors make lots of mistake about it, is ensure the quality of the format is perfect. So you cannot imagine how many books fail because there's many typos or mistakes in the book, and once you start collecting bad reviews, I can tell you the book is gone. There's no way you're gonna fix it. So the problem is that is already so much difficult to get a 5-star review on a good content that if you already start inputting typos, this is gonna make very difficult for you to be successful. By the way, we make available many tools to preview the book and see how it works that are going to help you. The second trick that is very important is metadata. Metadata, it is technically what makes your book searchable and findable in the Amazon store. So your book is going to be lost in hundreds of thousands of books on the Amazon store. So you better give us the keys so that our algorithm work best so that your books is findable and searchable. So there are some core metadata which are a must, and you need to put in the book, which are like the title, the author, the book description, which by the way should be properly written, the language, the genre. So those are a must. So those you cannot publish a book without having filled those. But there are some optional metadata that people think, okay, it's optional, I'm not gonna fill them, but actually those are the metadata which are key to market your book. And it's, some things can be series or reading age, but the other key thing is everything which is related to search engine optimization, which are the keys that allow you to make the book identified. So it can be the location where the book is based, some key character, some prize you've won, or some key trait related to the book, and this will allow will allow for you to find the book in our search engine by looking at that work, but also will allow our recommendation algorithm to link the books one to another in our recommendation engine. Then the second thing, and again, I'm passing really simple messages, but I tell you, it's when you do the thing, it's most of the people don't get them right. So the second key message is make a great cover. So I'm not gonna make names, but there are some publishers in Italy who made their business out of nice covers, like very attractive and appealing and colorful covers. And this doesn't mean you need to be as aggressive as those publishers have been doing, but this means you need to pay a lot of time, because your cover is going to be put against professional covers on the store, and that is going to have an important impact on the conversion of the book. So since your book is going to be together with the Ken Follett and Dan Brown, where professional designer have dedicated time and effort to put the graphics at their best, it's key that you put your fair share of time to make sure you get it right. And even if you don't have the skills, we have a tool that allows you to build, I would say, kind of good-looking, semi-professional covers that would be very easy to do. There are some templates. There is like 10 templates of different types and colors. You can choose more kind of what they call them French type of covers, more plain vanilla, and easily apply them to the book. The other feature which is really important is pre-order. So again, I don't know how much the audience is familiar, but so in media in general, like in physical media, regardless of digital, pre-order is key. So when I talk media, the way we define it in Amazon, which will be books, music, video games, and video, so those categories make a significant part of the revenue of the life cycle of the media product in the pre-order. Like, I can take the extreme case, but there are video games who make half of the money in pre-order. So, you know, screwing up on a pre-order, it's a bad issue for the company. And on books is the same. And even on KDP books. So so in general for pre-order, we allow to put books in pre-order. This means you can make the book available for sale and for pre-order on the site up to 90 days in advance without even putting the content into the system. So you put your book, you put your cover, you put the description, and then you say that is available for sale on a certain date. And this is when someone clicks on the pre-order button, it commits to the purchase, and then he gets the book delivered right at the date, on the midnight of the date of the release date. And by the way, so when I say this is important, because pre-orders contribute to sales rank, and of course pre-orders you can use them to market the book on social media, on any kind of channel you want to use. So let me move to the second piece of the puzzle, which is pricing. So the first thing is so you should relentlessly experiment. So you should experiment and you should copy what other people do. So and of course, again, as said, look at the vibrant KDP community. But having said that, when you move to digital, so the good thing is what we learned on Kindles over the year is that for good content, for any content, readers are willing to pay money to buy digital media. But the mindset is different. So this was the old world when you were writing a book and your book was standing in a library and people were comparing the price of your books against other books. When actually in reality, this is the new world. So books don't need to compete only with books, but need to compete with any type of media. So the time of the people is limited. So the share of time you can dedicate to reading is limited, and you should choose to invest on reading, or you should rather choose to invest on Facebook, on reading a newspaper in many cases for free, in playing with Candy Crush Saga, or in watching a video. So you should price the books accordingly. It's really key to your success. So moving to the third step of the puzzle, it's making the most of the Amazon estate. So, and again, this ties to my conversation on pricing. So the world has changed, and you should really think about it when you think about marketing your book in digital. So before the digital world, the questions that people had were, am I in the right location? Can customer find my book on the shelf? How do I compare to other books? When actually the question now is very different in digital. How do I get customer to think about my books? Or how do I get customer to find my books in the big Amazon ecosystems with hundreds of thousands of books? So to this question specifically, there is one key point, which is you should trust the Amazon algorithm. So today is more the books that comes and finds you based on your behavior. So we spend like a company like Amazon spends each year significant percentages of our revenues in machine learning to make sure that we recommend you the right books based on similarities. So a book you publish is surfaced to you because of that. But having said that, we created tools which will facilitate that further. And two of the key tools are Kindle Unlimited and the Kindle Owner's Landing Library. So Kindle Unlimited is a subscription library, which by paying, where a customer by paying €9.99 a month can borrow for free any book. This reduces to zero the threshold of materiality to borrow any book, and this allows you to explore. I mean, it's it's early to say, but because I mean we launched the surveys like 5-6 months ago, but what we've seen is customers who get into Kindle Unlimited over time end up reading between 30% and 40% more, which is big, and spending 25% more. And of course, self-published books are benefiting from this opportunity. And of course, on each borrow, if customers read more than 10%, KDP authors get remunerated. So the second tool is the Kindle Owners Landing Library. So if on Amazon you're a Prime customer, and so you are a customer who pays for certain special services on Amazon, like for instance is 9.99 euros a month, I mean the price is really variable according to the EU. You can get to borrow for free a KDP book for a month. And again, what we've seen, similar to Kindle Unlimited, is that customers who use Kindle Owners Landing Library end up purchasing 30% more of books. Like for instance, on the famous series, typically, I don't know, customers borrow the first book of the series and then end up buying the following ones. And moving to the last piece, I'm going to talk to you about how to promote the book and how to promote it on Amazon and how to promote it on the other channels. So as it regards promoting the book on Amazon, we have developed tools. We have two tools available. Not all of them are available everywhere. One of the key one is Kindle Countdown Deal, which is in the UK, which is a tool which allows you to create a deal with a timer on your book. So you make available your book at a discounted price, and customers, when they get on the page of the book, they see the timer, and they have up to, I think they can put it for up to 5 days, and this of course creates an urgency for the customer to buy the book. And of course, when they go to look at the page, they see the reduced price and the normal price. And then we also have, I don't have a chart for that, but we also give the possibility to customer to put the books available for free for a week and for 5 days. And this, of course, allows customers to create awareness about the book. And another tool, okay, I'm going to wrap up quickly. Another tool we got available is Author Central. It's if you're an author, or you can, and you start having multiple books, you can create self-service your author page, and you can use it to market the book. And it's going to be like a key channel for also for linking to your blog, so that people get to know you. And directly from the page of the book, customers can directly from the author page, customer can buy the book. And last slide, and I want to try to wrap up because I want to give you some chance to ask questions. So the key last comment is, so you're, for those who want to self-publish or are self-publishers, so they need to put an effort to promote their own book, and it's work. And it's not like it's not like the condition to be successful, but it's an important piece to it. So it's key that you build your followership. It's key you start to try to get in contact with your readers on any channel. So the most obvious channel is, of course, social network. For instance, one of the authors I've mentioned before that sold more than 1 million copies, the key traits that characterize her was that she created a massive followership on Facebook. And this allows her to communicate, to engage. It's a big opportunity to market your book. And through there, you can create mailing lists, so you can update them all, and you can update your customers with all new releases, or you can tell stories. You can use, of course, Author Central, which I mentioned before. And in general, and as I said in the beginning, it's key that you connect with other authors and get their ideas and share them. Thank you. Any question?
Hello, my name is Nela Lazarevic. I'm a journalist based in Trieste. I would like to ask two quick things. One is if you can give us an idea of how much the author can earn using a service such as Kindle Unlimited, based
Sure.
on the number of copies and so on. And another one, do you have some data which would show how in book promotion, how much it counts promotion within Amazon site and outside, like affiliate or social media, even word of mouth? What's the balance between the two channels of promotion? Thank you.
Okay. So I mean, on the first one, I'm gonna give you a boring answer. I said you can make up to 70% of the royalties of the book. There are some scales, but that's general the money you make. So if you put the book for sale for €5, you're gonna make 3-4 euros. And then the volumes, which I think is your questions, really depends on where you sell it, the languages. Of course, there are marketplaces which are obviously more developed, like the US and the UK, and where there's a bigger opportunity with the English language. But still, even marketplaces like Italy, where digital is still in its early stages, we've seen authors making good money. And I think, so this is the first question. So to the second question is, so it's very difficult to answer to your question. But what we've seen, and this more qualitative data point, is really the activity on social network is really important. So if I met quite a few authors, mostly in Italy. I mean, those who were successful were very active on social. This is no matter what, because at the end, if you are no one, you need to create contact to the people, and this allows you to spin traction on your book. Can someone?
Francesca Ferrara, sono una giornalista freelance e volevo sapere se la piattaforma permette di realizzare anche dei libri di natura fotografica o comunque di inserire, a parte il testo, anche delle fotografie che accompagnino il racconto.
Allora, la risposta è sì. Abbiamo dei tool che sono disponibili in tutta Europa, che permettono di creare contenuto illustrato. Cioè c'è un tool, Kindle Creator, che permette di gestire immagini in quello che chiamiamo fixed layout, che è il formato tipico che si utilizza per i libri fotografici. Nel senso, in generale il mondo dei libri digitali si divide in due mondi. Il mondo dei reflowable, che è il libro classico di fiction, essay, che diciamo come una pagina web, un elastico che si allunga e si accorcia in funzione della dimensione del testo. Però per i libri illustrati vengono utilizzati normalmente questi fixed layout. Quindi sì, si possono utilizzare. La seconda domanda era invece?
Era questa, appunto, oppure se uno vuole creare un racconto appunto
Sì.
lungo,
Sì.
possiamo inserire qualche foto di accompagnamento, magari non proprio un libro fotografico completo, ma semplicemente qualche foto esplicativa che accompagni il testo.
Sì, si può fare in due formati, nel senso si può fare o creando un libro interamente in fixed layout, oppure semplicemente inserendo le immagini all'interno del file reflowable. Dipende veramente da quanto è complesso il rendering del contenuto. Cioè, banalmente, adesso col tempo siamo arrivati a fare dei file abbastanza complessi. Lavoriamo molto con aggiunte del contenuto di Disney, per esempio, che è stato reso in digitale, e così vediamo allo stesso tempo, questo diciamo da un punto di vista di editori tradizionali, ma allo stesso tempo vediamo autori KDP che pubblicano storie di fumetti. Nel senso che di fatto sono probabilmente il formato più complesso da rendere su un ebook.
E un'ultima domanda, ad esempio per chi volesse scrivere libri in italiano, la piattaforma permette un servizio di traduzione o comunque conviene pensare prima al mercato dove lo si vuole posizionare e quindi a quel punto direttamente impegnarsi a scriverlo direttamente in lingua inglese?
Allora, ad oggi non abbiamo un servizio di traduzione. Non so cosa ti consiglierei. Secondo me dipende molto dalla familiarità che hai con la lingua. Cioè, se tu pensi che il tuo inglese sia già sufficiente da poter scrivere un libro, ti direi di scriverlo direttamente in inglese. Altrimenti, secondo me, è meglio che lo scrivi, lo pensi in italiano e poi lo traduci successivamente. Cioè, è evidente che su un mercato più grande, come dicevo prima alla tua collega, ovviamente ci sono opportunità più grandi.
Hi, my name is Brian Aline. I'm a sociologist. I've got a question about formats. I'm assuming that the input to the Kindle publishing platform is a standard EPUB.
So it's a format which is called Mobi 8, which is a format of Amazon. We, however, provide tools which are available for free on the internet on the Amazon page, which allow you to convert EPUB format into the Mobi format.
I see. And the follow-on question is, and after that, presumably Amazon adds digital rights management to the document that the author uploads?
Yes, we add DRM, yes.
Thank you.
Any other question? Yeah, there's someone in the bottom of the room.
Do you have more hints for finding the right price? Do you have a recommendation for a price range? Which books are very successful in which price range?
So it's a complex question. So there could be rules, but it really ties to the appeal of the book, the category of the book, the lifetime of the book, and so it's kind of an algorithm. So for a self-publishing author, it will be complicated. So it's of course, if your book is extremely appealing, it's I don't know, a fiction novel, and at the time you release it, I would recommend you to price it higher. And higher really depends on the quality of the book, because it could even go up to 10 euros, like a Ken Follett book. But then, of course, over time, is like with a physical book, you know, the interest on your book is going to decrease. So if you want to drive demand to the book, you need to reduce the price. That's this we've done many studies, and is key. We can really see the curve of clicks on the book that decreases over time. So the recommendation, the key recommendation is look at what other people do. So your book over time, you're going to publish it in a certain genre. So you can go into the Amazon page, look at the browse node of the specific genre, say it's romance. You look at romance, you look at other self-published authors, and you look at the price they price the book, and then you can adjust it anytime. So you can start to adjust it downwards, upwards, see what happens to the demand of the book. Probably you can reduce by €1 and wait for a week and see what's happening, and you can see if the results are gonna satisfy you. I think they're cutting my time. I need to wrap up. So thank you, everyone.